Hey there viewers, a Transformers fan or Charlie Young back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Studio Series 86 Thundercracker. So, we got a new mold for the Seekers. Right after I've just gotten Thrust to finish the Earthrise Seekers. Oh boy, it's time to collect all 6 Seekers again, and maybe a bunch more, because as we all know, the Seekers can give us endless repaints. Like, we can get like 10,000 recolors of this mold, as Classics once showed us, like many moons ago. But yeah, we got a new Seeker mold, and the first use of it is Thundercracker instead of Starscream, which, honestly, I am not complaining. With Thundercracker being my favorite Seeker, I am all for it. But before we look at this new Seeker mold, let's look at the box. So, we've got the standard modern style Studio Series packaging, I guess. So yeah, we've got Thundercracker here in both modes. Of course, it's from the original film. This side, we've got a picture of Thundercracker with a rather dopey expression. He's like all, 27 steps. This side, we can see, yeah, it's the Autobot Massacre scene. I mean, we can literally see the huge crater in the background, although the picture that they use is actually I guess his last moments before he dies and is turned into a Scourge. But yeah, it says what he does in the film. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. Remember when he's had backdrops? I do. Oh well. But for Thundercracker here, well, as I said, it's a whole new mold. And Thundercracker is the first one to wear it. We've got a Skywarp coming, which I do really want to get, and we haven't seen Starscream yet. And I wonder if we'll get, like, the cone heads, for example. If we'll get, like, I don't know, maybe Acid Storm, maybe, like, because, like, with the Earthrise Seekers, we did get a few obscure repaints, like freaking Cloud Cover. So I wonder how many times this is going to be reused in the upcoming years. Because I can see, like, Starscream coming. We know Skywarp is coming. Starscream is obvious. Coneheads, maybe. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe like a G2 Starscream, I don't know. But Starscream and Skywarp guaranteed. Coneheads, maybe. And other Seekers, like Sunstorm, for example, possibly. But enough waffling on. Let's look at the actual jet mode. And, of course, we've got the standard F-15 mode, which is, yeah, this looks really good. I mean, the previous one looked really good as well, but I like how this one looks as well. We can see those two bits of gunmetal, I guess, that the Seekers had in the film for some reason. And only in the film. Like, they didn't have it in the show, just the movie. Which is kind of weird, but I guess it adds a bit of, like, color to them. Of course, we got the whole nose cone. Unfortunately, you can't really poke your brother's eye out with it. But we can see we do have the cockpit, which can't really see that much detail in there, but there is like a bit of interior. Now, one thing that you can see right here, we actually get a landing gear. Because if you remember the Earthrise mold, and I guess technically also the Classics mold, but that had a different type of landing gear, but This actually has a landing gear for it. Like, you can see that just comes out like so. So that's honestly amazing because, I mean, the fact that the Earthrise mold didn't have a landing gear is honestly kind of sad. So I'm glad they rectified that here. Unfortunately, it's just for the front. There's no like back landing gear molded in, but oh well. It's still like these technically like the feet, basically what props this up for the back as well. I don't think the chest is touching the table. No, I don't think it's touching the table, so I don't think it's going to have any paint scratches compared to the Earthrise figure, thankfully. The wings look really good. We've got the Decepticon symbols there. And another detail that the Earthrise figure was missing, actual thrusters. Because, well, the Earthrise figure just had some weird, like, heater-looking thing. I'll show in the comparison later. But yeah, overall, I think that this looks really good. Now, granted, this is doing the whole fully cartoon accurate thing, so there's less greebling on it compared to the Earthrise figure, but me personally, I kind of don't mind that. Like, in fact, you know what? Let's just fully do the comparison. So, here's the Earthrise figure, which, remember, this was only in like a 2-pack with Skywarp. Compared to the Coneheads, which were fully reissued, all 3 of them, we never got Thundercracker and Skywarp normally. So I like on getting this guy in Skywarp, but honestly, I am preferring the Studio Series figure. It's a much nicer blue. This is probably yellowed, but it's a much nicer blue. The landing gear makes a huge difference, in my opinion. And we can see, it's probably not showing on camera, but in person, this is starting to yellow. Like, the hinges here, it's not showing up on camera, but some bits are starting to turn green. Like, the hinges here, the tail fins. Yeah, this was during that time when Hasbro was kind of struggling with plastic. You know, we had that whole problem going on back in 2020. That's all I'm going to say. So they had to cheapen out for a bit. And yeah, Transformers were yellowing a lot easier than they used to. And I think they have kind of remedied it a bit. So yeah, during like, what, 2020 to 2022, figures were yellowing a lot easier. Which, thankfully, they have fixed, it seems. But, yeah, this was a... Unfortunately, this is starting to green a little bit. But anyway, looking at the details, we can see... Yeah, a lot more greebling on this... On the Earthrise figure, which you might prefer. But, if this was in the lighter shade of blue that this guy is, I think I'd probably prefer this. I don't know. But again, you can see there's no landing gear. And the thrusters are that weird... Yeah, I have no idea what that's meant to be. So, yeah, thrusters are more accurate. And of course, just before we transform him, we have the Norrays. Standard secret affair. And for these Norrays, well, it looks like they might be molded in clear plastic and then painted blue. I don't know. So it looks like they're painted blue instead of being molded in blue. But, well, can I take blast effects? And yeah, they can. So, yeah, we can take blast effects. Just plug them in. And then we just plug them onto the wings as normal. And yeah, we can have them shooting, which is amazing. So yeah. Now we do typically have some more stuff he comes with, but they're attached onto the jet mode to complete him. These are the tail fins, which come separately, and the little tip things on the wings, I guess, to help him fit into the box. Now, the tail fins can come off to, I guess, make him look cleaner. This was just so he could fit in the box. So, yeah. But that's pretty much it for the jet mode. And honestly, I love the jet mode. Like, it looks clean. I mean, yeah, we do have the standard. But that's standard for a Seeker. So, yeah, it looks really nice. I love the landing gear. Overall, definitely prefer it over the Earthrise version. But what about the transformation? Because remember, the Earthrise figure was pretty much just classics upscaled. What about this? Well, so just trying to tilt this up. There we go. So the transformation does have something similar to the Earthrise figure, but yeah, most of it is entirely new. So we're just gonna fold up the landing gear, fold up these tail fins. Now we just want to move them back so we can get them out of the way, so we can take the wings. And just like the Earthrise figure, flip them up. And yeah, you can take the tail fins off, which I'm actually going to do, because, well, there's another option that you can do with the tail fins, and that's to plug them onto the wings. Because I think a few shots of the G1 showed the Seekers had the tail fins attached onto the wings. And whether by coincidence or design, you can replicate that here. So yeah, you can plug in the tail fins onto the backs of the wings here. Which, yeah, it's parts forming, but it's not like forced parts forming. This is optional. If you don't want to do this, then you don't have to, but I'm gonna do it just so we got some more space for the legs later. Plus, I kind of like how that looks. And it kind of, like, fills out... It covers up the gaps at the back, so yeah, I'm gonna do this. But continuing on, we're just going to... This bit here is going to untab. That's just going to spin around like so. You just take the legs and split them. Open these up. Then we can untie the legs. Extend them out. And then we can just close these back up. So they do extend out, although honestly, it's a lot less compared to the Earthrise figure, because this is more of a cover. But then we can just take the feet, move them down. So yeah. Then we can take the nose cone, just move that down. So essentially now we just have to get the arms out and move the cockpit around. So just try and get this and tabbed. Come on. And yeah, this also untabs the cockpit from here. So try and get this opened up so it can go through easier. But we can get the arms. We can get the shoulders outwards, like so. These little side bits of this. Yeah, these side bits come outwards. On my copy, this one seems to come out quite a bit, which is unfortunate, but oh well. But then we can just take the cockpit, spin all this around, move that down, try and get all this tabbed in. Like, They tab into the shoulders, and then the waist can just tab in, like so. And we're pretty much nearly done. Come on. Try and straighten out the legs. Come on. And finally, we just open up the forearm, get the hand out. And that's pretty much it. So, and of course, normally I put the accessories on later, but the Seekers need the null rays to complete the silhouette, so... Come on. There we go. Just trying to get them standing up properly. So, here we have Thundercracker in robot mode. And yeah, that's a pretty fun transformation. Like, it's wholly unique to this figure. There's nothing shared with classics or Earthrise aside from the wings, essentially. And honestly, I quite like it. Like, yeah, there is some optional parts forming if you don't want the tail fins on the legs, but honestly, I don't mind it. Like, yeah, they do come off quite easily, but still, I think it's a really fun transformation. And the resulting robot mode, I mean, it's a lot cleaner than Earthrise. You see that the nose cone hides a lot better. Plus, if you do decide to plug the tail fins onto the wings, I actually really like how it looks. Plus the head, well, we can see he's kind of got a facial expression. He's kind of all... And apparently you can also swap out the facial expression. So if you have like Skywarp or Starscream, they can swap them out. So there you go. Now apparently there's like light piping here, but yeah, the eyes are painted over, so it doesn't really affect that much, which is kind of unfortunate, but oh well. I kind of wish that they did what the Siege ones did, where it was the red translucent plastic, so, you know, but oh well. But yeah, this looks really good. I mean, yeah, it just looks like a small masterpiece figure with the whole cartoon accurate thing, which you might not like, which, fair enough. But let's bring in the Earthrise figure again, which, again, this is pretty much, it's a scaled up classics figure. So, yeah. Now, I did think that this figure was cool at the time, but looking at it now, the blue's a bit dark, which, I mean, to be fair, Thundercracker's shade of blue changes on what version of G1 you're watching. Plus, my copy's yellowing. Again, it doesn't show on camera, but yeah, the forearms are yellowing, as you can see here, and you can't take the tail fins off to put on the wings if you want to, but this one does have an advantage. You can fold up the wings if you want, but look at the backpack compared to this one. Yeah, this is a lot cleaner. So, yeah. In fact, this one's actually a bit taller. So, yeah. But yeah, I think I prefer the Studio Series version. Now, for the accessories, of course, we do have the tail fins. If you want to plug them somewhere else, and there you go. But the main ones being the null rays, so of course we can... Oh yeah, they don't hit the wings anymore, which is really good. But we can plug in blast effects, so there you go. Or, can I plug in blast effects to the thrusters here? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it. So that's a reference. Yeah, that's... yeah, I think that's a slight complaint I have. Like... yeah, you can't plug in blast effects to the thrusters, unfortunately. So that's kind of poopy, but oh well. Now, another complaint I have is a lot of parts in this figure can come off kind of easily when transforming him. Some notable ones being the feet, this bit here on my copy, or might be fine. I've had these bits come off, although that was more my fault because they do stay in quite fine. It's only if you pull them like a bit too far then they come off. And this piece at the back. So I feel some of these should have been like fully pinned in. You know, like how the shoulders are. Because it can get kind of annoying trying to pose them and then... oop. So, yeah. But, well... I guess, speaking of posability, how was your articulation? Well, heads can go side to side. Arms can move, although they, unfortunately not fully because the wings get in the way. And one thing I wish that the wings could do is, just like the Earthrise figure, go backwards, but oh well. You can T-pose. Do you have a bicep rotation? The Norays go with the bicep here, so 90 degrees of elbow right there. Wrists can rotate. Something that this next thing is amazing compared to the Earthrise figure. Waist rotation. Again, take that. So yeah, waist rotation, which is amazing because the Earthrise figure didn't have that. The skirt can move forward, so he can kick forward, he can kick back. If you, well, you can't really kick back; it just gets in the way. But oh well. You can do the splits. I can swivel. Knee about that far. Foot can move up, although I can't move down. And a bit of pivot there. So yeah, overall, I think that this is a really good Seeker figure. Compared to the previous version, yeah, it knocks it out of the water, in my opinion. Like, if you prefer the Earthrise version, more power to you, but this, like, it's got flaws, do not get me wrong, but I really like it. What I say is definitive. Because, again, it does have flaws. Parts can come off quite easily. Transformation, while fun, can be a bit confusing when you first do it. But once you figure it out, it's quite... like, the transformation is confusing at first. But, like, once you learn it, it's quite fun to do. It's just, again, modern instructions suck. I recommend just watching, like, MGo's Just Transformers series if you want to learn how to transform a figure for the first time. But, yeah. Transformation does have a few impedances. But I do like it. And for nitpicks, you know, things that don't really hurt the figure, it's just, I wish they added it. I wish, like, this could bend backwards, like the Earthrise figure. And honestly, I just wish that there was, like, pins and at least the feet. Because I feel they could, they could have added that. But still, honestly, yeah, I definitely do recommend this figure. Because, like, Siege Thundercracker is cool. I definitely want one. Because, you know, it's the Cybertronium mode. But, like, for the Earth mode Thundercracker, keep in mind, this was hard to get back even back in the day. This is probably going to be easier now because, you know, people are probably going to be selling it to get this guy. But honestly, I think for now, this is probably the best Seeker mod that we have. Because, you know, Classics is freaking 20 years old. Earthrise is essentially an upscaled Classics. Siege is really cool, but it's the Cybertronium mode. So, for a really good, like, Earth mode Seeker mold, I think for now, this is a really good, if not probably the best so far that we have. They'll probably do a better one in a couple of years, because, you know, that's how Generations does stuff. But for now, I definitely do recommend this mold. Hopefully, we'll see Starscream soon, because then we can have the full Seeker trio. But honestly, I'm just glad that they started with Thundercracker, because he's my favorite Seeker. So, yeah. So, this has been my review on Studio Series 86 Thundercracker. And this is a Transformers fan signing off.